The Samsung Radioshack 500 on Fox is brought to you by UPS, official delivery company of NASCAR. We want to race the truck. People love the truck. UPS delivers a chance to win 4 tickets to the Daytona 500. Log on to foxsports.com, keyword UPS Racing. New leader in the Samsung Radioshack 500, Jeff Gordon, made the pass on Elliott Sadler. First time he has led in Texas since the very first Winston Cup race here. And obviously, you know, Elliott saw that he was faster, and that's what you want to do right now at this point in the race. Let him go. He's faster than you are. You might, you might learn something. Watch his line, see where he's running, see where he's beating you. Use it for later. And Darrell, that car that Jeff Gordon, the 24 car, this car they ran at Atlanta, but the chassis is almost 2 years old. He has won both of the Kansas races the last 2 years, so they've always liked the way this chassis, this car has driven. Maybe he quit giving all of his old cars to Jimmy Johnson and took some of them back. Hanging on to a few of them now. I'll keep that one. I kind of liked it. Let's go to the pits of the third place car. Here's Matt.
Mike, both Penske cars having a good day in the top 6. Ryan Newman dropped from 2nd to 3rd. Crew chief Matt Borland. What's he saying about the car now, Matt?
It's just a little bit too tight right now. We started the race a little tight, freed it up a little bit. We're just going to take another step, free it up. It's been pretty good.
One of the crew members has a wedge wrench to make a track bar adjustment on their next stop, which should come around lap 103 to 104.
Now traffic is holding up Jeff Gordon. Took him a long time to get past Christian Fittipaldi, and that has brought Elliott Sadler right back to the race leader. And you see how close you get to that guy when you're coming off the corner? I mean, you almost touch him, and occasionally you do, unfortunately, but that's how you set a guy up to pass him. Get that bumper up under there, lift those back wheels off, make them light. That guy's got a lift, and you'll go right back. Yeah, he's working on Kenny Wallace in the 23 cars doing 36, but Robbie Gordon, a 20th place car, he's actually only a straightaway behind him, so he can put a bunch of cars a lap down here in these next few laps. Is there problems on our pole sitter, Steve?
Well, Mike, he's not sure. He's reporting to Michael McSwain that he's got a vibration. He's concerned about the motor in that 18 car.
Well, and I'm sure we're going to hear more and more reports about concerns with engines and a lot of things, because, Darrell, we've talked about it already. There you see his interval to our leader right now, Jeff Gordon, 9 3/4 seconds. So hard on engines at this place. Yeah, I just don't see how guys can expect an engine to live turning at 9,000 and above. Not for 500 miles. Not here.
And you heard Jack Roush say in pre-race, it's one of his cars, number 17, Matt Kenseth, trying to fight through traffic, that he stuck his chin out. And third place, Kenseth makes the try, can't make the move there on Newman, but Roush stuck his chin out, and his 5 cars have upped the rev limit. 300 more RPM here for Texas.
Guys, when I was early this morning, we were talking about the 45 car of Christian Fittipaldi, who's relief driving for Kyle Petty. Got a chance to speak with him, and he told me that even though he's been doing some racing, he hasn't done much stock car racing on an oval like here at Texas. The last time he was on an oval similar to Texas was October last year in Kansas City. Yes, he's tested Talladega and Daytona, but as you know, here at Texas, you got to use a lot more braking, a lot more finesse, and I think he's done a really good job just kind of adapting himself to this race car for today's race and trying to keep it out of the wall, get some laps, and give these guys a good finish in relief for Kyle Petty.
Yeah, how would you like to be sitting at home, the phone rings? How'd you like to come down to Texas, the fastest racetrack we run on, and you haven't been in a car for a while and run the race?
Christian Fittipaldi is in a development program with the Petty team. Going to run some ARCA, some Busch, and perhaps a few Cup races.
Oh, by the way, you don't get any practice either.
You get a little in that last hour of practice.
A couple of laps. They just put Greg Biffle a lap down. 16 car, had a great run at Bristol. Top 5 finish last week. He's in 34th position.
Aerial coverage provided by Budweiser, and you have a look at the nearly 200,000 fans that have jammed into Texas Motor Speedway. Fittipaldi in this race because Kyle Petty, who qualified the car and planned to drive it, found that he had a couple of cracked ribs from last week's crash at Bristol.
We're starting to see the beginning of these green flag stops. Ward Burton in the 22 cars on pit road, as well as Larry Foyt. Remember, all the cars were on pit road about lap 43. They run 60 to 65 laps. So we're going to start seeing a lot of cars come to pit road for that first green flag stop. Dodges are mainly what we'll see pit first because they're just not getting the fuel mileage that maybe the GM and the Ford cars are getting.
Here's one of them, Casey Mears.
Could be out of fuel.
And And Larry Foyt also in a Dodge. Tony Raines going a lap down to Jeff Gordon and Elliott Sadler.
Larry, you make a lot of power, you turn a lot of RPMs, you're going to burn a lot of fuel.
Exactly. You see Casey Mears 70-something miles an hour down the backstretch. I would not be surprised if he's not out of fuel.
And why do they always run out as you go by the pit?
That's the way it always happens.
I can't tell you how many times that happened.
But you know, Darrell, this is one of those places with the speeds not falling off. You have to pay close attention to how fast your car's running, because that plays a big variable in the fact of the fuel mileage.
Oh, yeah, you're in the gas. I mean, you're in the throttle all the time.
Here's another Dodge. Jeremy Mayfield diving onto pit road as Mears coasts onto the pit lane.
And this is a real challenge, because if his motor's not running, that means the tack's not working. He can't see his pit road speed.
He was pretty warm, pretty hot.
Mayfield overshot his pit, almost overshot the NASCAR inspector who was trying to wave him back into his pit. Three more laps for Elliott Sadler before he brings that Ford in.
Now, Larry, what I want you to do as my crew chief is please don't bring me in with somebody that's around me. Here come the two leaders right here.
He decided to come with Jeff Gordon.
Like I said, follow him. Maybe you'll learn something.
Jack Sprague's in, so is Tony Raines and Kenny Schrader. Steve?
Elliott Sadler saying he's just a little bit tight from the center off. They're going to put a set of scuff tires on that number 38 of Elliott Sadler. Kevin Hall and Paul Bolt are the tire carriers. Big Scott Wood is the jack man. Again, just a little tight from the center off. To Matt Yoakum.
A track bar adjustment for Jeff Gordon. 4 scuffed tires as Craig Curione, the former grape farmer from Niagara Falls, New York, comes in, takes that left front. This car was a little bit loose by himself, tight in traffic.
Kevin Harvick, Tony Raines are in, so is Greg Biffle, Dale Jarrett. The point leader, Matt Kenseth, is in. Jeannie.
From 17 to first, he is loose in and tied up. They'll give him 3/4 round in the right rear. Last stop, 13.9, but no gain without paying. The front tire changer took a lug nut to the right temple. Justin Notstand, though, out there. He's a trooper, still working hard and trying to keep his cars first. Nick?
Is in the pits. His car has been pushing on exit of the corners, and they're going to try to make some adjustments to fix that for it. It'll be a 4-tire stop with fuel. Gooch Patterson on the gas. He's the 350-pounder.
Dale Jr. in and out. Bobby Labonte, Mark Martin, Tony Stewart, Terry Labonte, John Andretti in and out, and Kurt Busch and Jamie McMurray and Johnny Benson.
Matt Kenseth did run an extra lap over Jeff Gordon and Elliott Sadler. He led a lap, so that gave him 5 bonus points. Here comes Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman, first and second place car right now to pit road, the 12 and the 48.
Mike Skinner's in as well. Christian Fittipaldi. Matt Yoakum.
And the 12 guys have the sign out for Ryan Newman. The 48 guys are waving their sign for the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, waiting for him to come in. The 12 comes to a stop. Remember, we told you that he was tight. They've got the wrench on the deck lid. They're going to make a chassis adjustment. You can see the adjustment. Meanwhile, another adjustment on the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. A little bit of damage to the left front fender. Service complete. The 48 is going to beat the 12 off. A little bit of trouble on the left rear, Ryan Newman.
Ricky Rudd, Jeff Green, Brett Bodine complete their stops. What do you think of this pitting in tandem? The two lead cars pit, the third and fourth place cars then pit together.
Well, you saw the downside right there to the 48 car. He beat the 12 out, but he had to get out around him, you know. I would have waited a lap if I think it'd been an easier in and out.
Steve?
And Jeff Green, who's been fighting his way into that top 10 all day, in for service on the number 30 car. Left side going up, left side tires on. No other chassis adjustments for Jeff Green. Service complete. 15 seconds.
Robbie Gordon is done, and Jimmy Spencer, who fought to get a lap back earlier, is the new leader.
Mongo lead race.
Yes, he does. Let me tell you, the problem with that is he's got a pit, and he was just about to go a lap down before they made these series of stops.
But he'd love to see a caution here in the next lap or two.
That would make Mongo happy.
108 laps complete in Texas.